Hello and welcome to the Lummico Intelligent Labels and Smart Production System presentation. The most comprehensive solution that accompanies your goods production, from the moment when they arrive at your warehouse as subcomponents, through the whole assembly process, up to the shipping stage. Our e-paper labels not only can display information but also can store important data, production guidelines, and tracking info. Electronic paper is a display type that doesn't need any power for displaying an image. Once the image is set, it will stay there up to the next content update. Power is only needed for changing the content, therefore we have managed to make this a completely batteryless solution. The energy needed for the display refreshment is harvested from the dedicated Lummico readers. You would never think about how useful this solution can be. It's not only an ecological way to replace cardboard boxes with a durable, reusable, and recyclable containers, but also a golden bridge between each manufacturing departments and assembly stages. There are limitless different production paths that you can create with the Lummico Smart Production System. The system is so flexible that it doesn't really matter how your production scheme looks like and what is assembled. So let's take a look at a small transmission assembly and together trace the whole production process. It all begins with a production order entered into your WMS and MES systems. On this basis, the warehouse dispenses materials and subcomponents needed for an assembly. All of them are placed in one or multiple boxes depending on their size. For large parts production, it is also possible to place labels directly on subcomponents. Gears and housings are being placed inside the container. Its batteryless e-paper tag is automatically updated with the data downloaded directly from your system. Information stored inside its memory will be crucial at the manufacturing process because it contains a reference to all of the assembly guidelines and final product information. So, the container with subcomponents leaves the warehouse in the labeled box, and the assembly reference number saved in its memory. Once it arrives at the first worker, he doesn't have to know how to connect these parts. The worker approaches the Lummico e-paper tag to the dedicated reader and voila, all of the necessary assembly info will be displayed on the screen. The only thing that he has to do now, is to precisely repeat steps from the displayed manual. Many advantages come from it. First of all, the workers can be less qualified, and such a solution eliminates most of the mistake sources. Secondly, researchers point out that such assembly is faster and more precise. Finally, it makes your production more versatile than ever. Let's come back to our worker, who just has finished his assembly tasks. Do you remember when he approached an e-paper label to a reader? The system has registered his unique ID number and timestamp. Right now, when he finishes his part, we know exactly who was responsible for it and how much time it took. These are very important information for future production planning, tracking mistake sources, and creating employee statistics. Of course, parts can be assembled by multiple employees, and each stage is registered in the same way. Also, the info provided on the display is suitable for each production step. Employees have also the possibility to add notes if they notice anything disturbing. These notes will be available later for quality control and saved in the product's assembly history. Finally, at the end of the production stage, we came to quality control. Since the data not only can be read but also wrote, the quality controller can examine the part like he used to do with a regular checklist and add suitable notes. His ID and therefore an electronic signature is saved in the system and Lummico e-paper tag once the part passes the quality check. Once the container leaves the production, it is again automatically refreshed and labeled. Now, it can be moved back to the warehouse, where it will wait until it's needed for a further assembly or shipment. When it finally comes to the shipment, the container label can be simply refreshed with shipment data from your system. No more paper labels printing, peeling the old ones, or stacking one on another that only leads to mistakes and delivery problems. This is an exceptionally good solution in the case of constant materials exchange between factory facilities or between warehouses and shops. Explore more about Lummico products and systems on our website, www.lummico.com. We are always open to unique and customized projects. If your case requires deeper analysis or research and development, write to us at contact@lummico.com.